Let's start here. Edward Zuma, son of Jacob Zuma, says he's prepared to die to keep his father out of jail. After a drawn-out battle between Jacob Zuma and the State Capture Commission, the Constitutional Court today found the president to be in contempt of court. The Apex Court sentenced Zuma to 15 months behind bars for disobeying its order to appear before the commission. Well, senior reporter Siphamandla Goge joins us from the Zuma homestead in Nkandla. Siphamandla, you have been keeping watch ever since that judgment came through earlier today. Talk to us about what activity you are seeing around this homestead at this hour.
Indeed, as the sun sets on Nkandla's son here, that is former President Jacob Zuma, I'm going to ask my colleague Sally. I know you always talk about our beautiful crossings here, but Bonga Mkhize will show you this sunset here in Nkandla. Literally, and I can tell you that it has set on former President Jacob Zuma. He has to report to the nearest police station within 5 days. Failure to do so, the police will have to come here and fetch him after, of course, 3 days following the lapse of that deadline that would have passed at the time. What is happening outside Nkandla here is that we are seeing members of MKMVA. They have been here for months now anticipating this judgment. When we got here earlier today, they said to us, well, they will remain here. They want to see who's going to come here and touch the former president. Also, former president's family members are still here. I think Bonga Mkhize will show you. There is a lady there near a car just by that tent over there. That is one of former President Jacob Zuma's family members. Her name is Shongani Zuma. More and more family members are coming to the homestead here. Of course, they will have a formal family meeting to discuss this judgment, but there's nothing much to discuss really. The judgment is clear. The former president will have to hand himself over. Failure to do so will result in police having to enforce the implementation of that judgment of the Constitutional Court here. So it's very calm for now here at Nkandla. The former president is not here. We understand that he's in Gauteng. Yesterday night, we understand that he consulted with his legal team, of course, awaiting today's judgment. After today's judgment, we saw that tweet by his daughter, that is Duduzile, who has become known as the authority in terms of communication around former President Jacob Zuma's matters. She sent out that tweet to say, well, Nkandla, I've spoken to my father. He remains strong. He fears nothing. We have decided to go home, to end ourselves over, simply put, implying that the former president will exercise and take an option of reporting to Nkandla police station instead of any police station in Johannesburg. So we now await to see what will unfold. But the former president's family members, including his son, by the way, that is Edward Zuma, who was here a short while ago, he is adamant that no one is going to come here and arrest his father. He had a very strong statement saying they will have to kill him first. Now, there seems to be some contradiction here because according to Duduzile's tweet, one gets a sense that, the position is the former president will come back home. When that deadline comes, he will have to hand himself over to Nkandla local police station. But can tell you that according to Edward, that is not going to happen. They expect more saboteurs of former president. But listen to the reaction by Edward Zuma.
Once again, I'm saying whatever decisions law enforcement agencies, decide upon, if that drastic decision happens to be taken, then they will have to pass by me, meaning I'll lay down my life for President Zuma. They are not going to take him to prison when I'm still alive. They will have to kill me first. I insist on that.
And you also, of course, asked him what about COVID restrictions. Of course, the police minister making it very clear they're going to take this really seriously. Let's just listen to what Edward Zuma said about that.
What do you mean? What about COVID-19 restrictions? We're in a situation of war here. We can't be considering COVID-19 situations. If it means we die, we die. And we are prepared to die.
All right, so certainly Edward Zuma is saying you're going to have to get through me first if you want to take my father to prison. Just talk to us a little bit, because you are, of course, also monitoring what's meant to happen in July with the former president's standing trial regarding the arms deal, which is finally coming to court. How do you see this playing out in the weeks to come? Do you really think we are actually going to see a former president being jailed in a democratic South Africa?
If that doesn't happen, it will be a serious indictment on the authorities in this country, that is the police and the administration as a whole. The Apex Court has spoken. What more do you want? The judgment is clear. 5 days, report to the nearest police station in Johannesburg or at Nkandla. If you fail to do that, the police will have to arrest you. Now, there is no other way about it. The former president of the Republic of South Africa, Zuma, will have to be jailed according to the judgment of the Constitutional Court. Now, remember, on the 19th of July, he is due back at the KwaZulu-Natal High Court Division, which is sitting in Pietermaritzburg for fraud and corruption judges. That simply means on that day he will have to wake up at a facility which is a correctional service center. He will have to be processed by authorities there, and prison warders, they will have to do or perform what is known as the head count. They will also have to take his fingerprints for him to go out to the High Court in Pietermaritzburg. Now, from there onwards, correctional services will have to take over in terms of them taking him to the High Court in Pietermaritzburg, because by that time, the deadline here, if you include the 3 days, should he decide not to hand himself over, you are looking at around the 10th of July. No, if that doesn't happen, he will have to be arrested by then. But by the 19th or on the 19th of July, that's when he has to go to Pietermaritzburg. Remember there, in terms of what will transpire in Pietermaritzburg High Court, the court will have to listen to his application, because he is fighting in all fronts, legally and politically and otherwise. But in this legal matter here, he is applying to have the state lead prosecutor in that fraud and corruption case of his, that is Advocate Billy Downer, excusing or recusing himself. Now, on the 19th, we expect that the court will have to listen to that application. We expect that it may take a couple of days, but after that, of course, we expect that the trial will get underway. So simply put, it means former President Jacob Zuma will attend his fraud and corruption trial as an inmate.
Thank you so much. That report live from eNCA senior reporter Siphamandla Goge.